guys, how's it going, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. The day is finally here. Today was Gamescom opening night. Shout out to Jeff Keighley and his entire team for putting together a spectacular event. And during the event, we got finally some new Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga gameplay footage. The trailer is mind-bogglingly epic. We're going to check it out here frame by frame, check out the entire trailer, talk about all the reveals, the good and the bad as well. So we will talk about all that and much more. Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, turn on your notifications, and without further ado, all right, so the first thing we'll do, just in case if you haven't seen it yet, let's check out the trailer. This is so well done. Like, it's, oh my goodness. Like, I am so stoked to talk about this with you guys. It is going to be phenomenal. Look at the details here. Just so cool.
The same as your father.
How did my father die?
How did my father die? I love that. Just, oh no, yikes. That's a sensitive topic. Just look at the polish of this game. We have never seen a Lego game that looks this good. It's just phenomenal. Like, seriously, absolutely phenomenal. Just incredible. Join the fight. There's that epic battle from the new trilogy. You have some really nice space combat. The battle against Django there. Reach out. Oh, and there's Chewie. Explore the galaxy. Check that out right there, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna break all that down because my goodness, that was a sick reveal, showing you all the hub worlds that we'll get to visit. The jetpack for Rey, which means that now we will not only have to play characters like Boba Fett, who has a jetpack. You could equip it as an item to other characters. Did you see Hoth? Look at the size and the scope of these battles. Man, oh man. I feel like I just have a giant grid, like, ear to ear. There's that epic shot from the trailer, and there you go. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Here's the bad news.
Go! The boy has no patience.
Spring 2022.
He's not ready.
I am ready. Ben, I can be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm ready.
I love that scene. Ben, I could be a Jedi. Tell him, Ben. Opens the lightsaber the wrong way down. Okay, so let's go through frame by frame, shall we? Okay, so first and foremost, I guess just a little bit of impressions for the trailer as a whole. I was blown away. The details are incredible. Really, the only negative is the fact that we still don't have a concrete release date. I know people are going to say, well, Blitz, did you not see spring 2022? Yes, I saw that. The problem is the last time that we got an announcement for fall 2020, well, TikTok, look at the clock, because it's 2021 and obviously the game is still not here. So I just wish, I think that it would have been a lot more of a reaffirming to just for us, like as a community, to hear a specific date, like, I don't know, March, or some people are suggesting maybe the game will come out on May the 4th. So it's like, May the 4th be with you. I guess that makes sense for Star Wars Day. I suppose we'll see when it releases. Let me know down in the comment section below if you like the trailer, and in addition to that, when you think it will actually release. But aside from that, the detail is phenomenal. The scope of everything is phenomenal. And I think the best way to go on ahead and check that out is to actually check out the trailer itself. So let's go on ahead and begin, shall we? So first and foremost, we have this opening scene here, obviously looking pretty awesome. Right off the bat, the one thing that I've noticed is the attention to detail. We've never seen a Lego game this detailed, whether it be like little lines and little marks on the faces of the characters to really make them look a lot more like their actual counterparts in the live action movies, or just detail from, you'll see like dust specks, snow particles, booster like fuel discharge. Like it's the sort of stuff that we don't see in Lego games. And so it is just so exciting to see what they're capable of doing if they have a lot more time to work on one of these games. So we're just going to go through here. So obviously you have a really beautiful shot right here of Darth Maul just looking incredible, summoning the lightsabers. By the way, look at the texturing even here, like just the attention to detail. And this is their new engine that Traveler's Tales has designed for this game, and all Lego games or whatever games they work on going into the future will be designed in this engine, which is very exciting because look at the lighting, look at the shadowing, like just everything just looks so cool. I love how dynamic the lights on the lightsaber actually look. That's great. Then we have a little bit of a battle right here of the actual lightsaber battle playing out. You can see effect parts. Look at this. Like there's sparkling effects coming off of the lightsabers. That's incredible attention to detail. Very cool. The environments themselves look great. You can see reflective lighting coming off the lightsabers onto the floor. Again, really cool attention to detail. Look at the print work right there on the beard, having a little bit of the graying there for Qui-Gon. That's neat. Then you have Luke. I also really love that they still maintain that goofy Lego tone. Like when you hear Luke ask Obi-Wan, like, hey, so whatever happened to my dad? And you just see Obi-Wan go like, just like, yikes, don't want to talk about that. Like it's really cool that they pay homage to the original property that they're using, but then at the same time, they put a nice comedic twist on it to make it a lot more fun. And I think that's very cool to see. So right here, we have young Luke, of course. This is another thing that I did want to mention. I'll play this portion right here again. Look at that. Like the animation on the faces is so much better than what it used to be. It used to feel a lot more stop motion-y. Now it really feels like an actual animation, and it's done really well. So that was another thing that I definitely noticed and I loved seeing as well. Here we have a really perfect example of one of the things that I think is so lovely to see in this game. We were doing a live show discussing this as Gamescom was happening, which, by the way, if you don't want to miss out on that type of thing, make sure you're subscribed and turn on your notifications. And you can also join the Discord. Link is in the description. I post on there every time we go live. But me and Manny, we were talking about the trailer and like what we liked, what we didn't like, etc. And the camera being completely different than what we're used to for Lego games is making a huge difference here. Like this feels much more dynamic. It feels like you're much more in the fight. We're much more so used to having the camera be higher on the characters, but here you can see that the camera is really zoomed in. It really brings you into the fight, and you'll see in a couple of scenes here down the line when we see Qui-Gon fight, it looks so much more epic. Like it really makes it feel more like something like Jedi Fallen Order or a game of that type of magnitude. And I think that that's a great step in the right direction for Lego to take, or for Lego games to take. Like you can see, look at this dynamic fight scene right here between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That looks great. Look, this is what I'm referring to. Look at this. Like this is insane. Look, you've got snow particles all over his attire right here. You can see it on the actual ship. Like you see how you've got flat parts of the ship, but then you can see a little bit of icing and snowing. Like what? That is the kind of detail that we do not see in Lego titles. So that is exceptional. This is a perfect example of that. We can see some really beautiful locations. You can see really great aesthetics. Interestingly enough, one other thing that I picked up on is that the studs actually look different. They seem to have become a lot more translucent in this particular game, whereas like we're used to the studs being a lot more dense in terms of how they look. Here, they almost look like kind of ghost studs to a certain extent. So that's interesting. You have a very happy Yoda right there riding on Luke. So that's interesting. As we scroll through, look at that cool dynamic shot right there of Yoda and Luke. That looks very neat indeed. Then if we keep on keeping on, here's another dynamic fight right here. Oh, by the way, also, once again, I want to point out on Luke here, once again, look at the dirt. Do you see that? Like literally mud and dirt and like little, look at this. Do you see that little like griminess on the hands and everything? That's crazy. That looks so cool. Look at the lighting here. This is such a beautiful shot. This just looks so dynamic and so Star Wars. It really just screams Star Wars. This was another thing that I loved. I loved that they took the shooting mechanics, like the blaster fire mechanics, from Force Awakens, Lego Force Awakens, but now it seems like it's a lot more dynamic. So you'll see here that you actually get to move around and you get to go on ahead and maneuver sideways and forwards, instead of in Force Awakens where you were much more stationary and you had to like fight from when you're one spot. So that's really cool too. Again, adding to the gameplay dynamism here. Here's another scene right here of Count Dooku. Once again, notice the hair, all the attention to detail there, and look just how much attitude they managed to capture in the face. It just looks great. I want to point you out here. Look, pay attention to Kylo, like when he moves. Notice how the hair will jiggle as though it is maneuvering with his movement. Like, it's so crazy. It's the type of thing you might not even notice, but look at that. Also, once again, remember how they're on the salt planet there? Look at his shoulders. Look at his shoulders. Look at his shoes. Look at the attention, the reflection, and the lighting and everything. It's so good. Look at the sun shining down on the ship. It just looks so freaking awesome. Seriously. A beautiful shot right here of Rey practicing, obviously, handling the lightsaber. Another beautiful dynamic shot. Once again, look at these lightning effects. You have sparks all around from the lightsabers and the weapons of the Red Guardians colliding. That looks phenomenal. Here's a nice shot of the studs. You can see them right here. So you can see that they're a lot more translucent and transparent than what they usually are. So there you go. We have a nice little shot of a stormtrooper as well. So that's neat. Here's some space combat, which we didn't get to see a lot of. There was just like little snippets, but from what I understand, this will be a huge factor in the game, is actually space combat. So that's quite exciting, of course. Here's another great shot of lots of cool characters. You got Django, you got Mace, you got Kit Fisto. Very, very, very cool shot. One of the things that is a little surprising is how few droids there are in the shot. Because, for example, if you go back to Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars, the first level in that game is the exact same setup, but it is just, especially if you play on PC, let me clarify, is filled with droids. So I'm curious to know if that will be the case. Like, will we see a lot more droids, and will it be a lot more densely populated if you're playing on the more modern consoles versus this game obviously will be releasing still on Xbox One and the PS4. So maybe because of that older hardware, it has a bit more limitations. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. Oh, here's another beautiful shot. Once again, you can see there will be some cover blaster fire scenes. Looks really cool. And again, lots of attention to detail, because it's these little things like these sparks flying out and all this sort of stuff that seems like it doesn't really matter. Like, look at the smoke particle right there. But that's what makes the scene, like, it just brings it so much more together. And I love how this whole scene is literally all brick built. Like, there's no weird trickery going on where most of it is just a flat background, like a computer generated background, but instead you can see it's brick built components here for everything, which looks very, very, very cool indeed. This is a perfect moment to capture some of that comedy that the Lego titles are so very well known for. Love it. Very cool to see. Definitely happy to see that there. And then comes the really exciting moment right here. So you can see you're just Luke, and then you bring up this little device, and as it turns on, it generates a hologram that then gives us a nice insight into the galaxy map, which, as you can see, will be the multitude of different planets that we will get to go on ahead and explore. This really does communicate quite a bit of stuff to us in general. So first and foremost, it shows us that studs obviously will be the regular currency, but two other things that we notice. Number one, I wonder if these are now going to be the new gold bricks. They're going to be like these, I guess, force bricks. And it does make sense because there's actually a scene where we see Rey trying to climb up towards one of these on Takodana. So we'll look at that in a moment. But then there's some type of currency right here, which I don't necessarily recognize from the visual of it, but it does somewhat at least resemble to me the Beskar, however you say that, that Mando collects. It kind of resembles that to me. So that's interesting. It'll be really, really interesting to see what is that used for. Like, do you use that for possibly this skill tree right here? Because we know that there will be a skill tree system in this, much more of an RPG element. And that's another thing that we get to learn from up here, is that obviously this shows you your map or teleporting to the different hub worlds, which there are 24 different areas that you can go to. You can see a lot of them are named here, whether it be a John Kloss, Kijimi, Kashyyyk, of course, Camino, Geonosis, Crate, Naboo, Bespin, Hoth, all of your favorites, along with a handful of them that are still locked away, which is interesting. I also suspect, because this area out here is kind of open, I wonder if maybe that's going to be filled in with some DLC that we know is coming for this game as well. So maybe that will feature some Mandalorian stuff or something like that over here. Then we see the tab that features the characters. This is probably vehicles. This right here is most likely the skill tree upgrades. And these next three, I have no idea. This maybe it's quests. At least that's what it would remind me of. This, even though it resembles sort of like a ship, just the way that it's designed, I'm guessing is maybe either resume or I don't know. Maybe this is to replay levels. Maybe you go through here in order to replay story levels. And then you have the question mark, which I'm guessing is just simply like help, or some sort of maybe a guide or a tutorial or something like that. So that's definitely really cool. The other thing that I picked up on when I saw this is the fact that you see this blue arrow right here. And that shows you that it looks like there's 3 different areas that you get to like zoom in on. So this is the most zoomed out version where you almost see like the entire galaxy. But then it looks like you can zoom in onto a planetary scale where you're looking at it more zoomed in as just the planet, followed by what looks like maybe specific monuments. And then maybe this is like literally inside of certain buildings that you get to teleport. So that's really intricate as well. If we're able to scope in on that, whether like by pressing maybe R2 or something like that, because it does indicate right here that you can press view map still. So I wonder if we'll be able to push this arrow down in order to zoom in further on these areas and these planets and then travel within them. And I love that they all have like a specific division and they have certain titles to each one, plus giving you a completion for the area itself. So you can see that within all of the Western reaches, this particular save file has 0.02% completion. So again, lots and lots to learn right there. And you can see the teleportation sequence actually happening. So we assume that this is once you've selected, you teleport via this type of a sequence, and then you would be able to go on ahead and land and explore things throughout. Once again, I want to point out, look at the sand in the hair, sand on the creature. Like, again, insane, just insane attention to detail. Really, really nice shot right there of Lando. This right here is phenomenal. It looks like we will be able to equip items like jetpacks on characters that don't have jetpacks. Like, you can't think of a jetpacked version of Rey, but it looks like we'll be able to go on ahead and unlock other items to like upgrade our characters along the way. So that's exciting. Very, very cool. And it means that some characters that maybe traditionally have limits to their abilities will have no longer limits, like being able to just traverse the area quickly using a jetpack for Rey instead of just characters like Jango Fett or Boba Fett, who obviously have jetpacks. Nice shot right there of C-3PO. Another beautiful shot, just panning. Again, the scale here is so insane. You look around and you just see like so many locations, so many planets, so many just unique looking spots and insane attention to detail to each one. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, really, really just phenomenal. Like, very, very impressive. Hoth might be my favorite. It's such a small scene here, but it just is so atmospheric. Look at how your frame is freezing over. Like, do you guys notice how the actual gameplay camera itself, first of all, look how zoomed in we are once again, which looks awesome. It makes it a lot more dynamic, but the actual lens has freeze effects over it. You can see snow particles on the character, on the, is it Tauntaun? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Just, again, absolutely, bellissimo. Beautiful shot. Beautiful, beautiful shot right there. Then we have the interior scenes right here. This looks like it's some sort of a puzzle scene where you have to go on ahead and drop down the TIE fighters. So this was probably part of a level instead of a hub world. So again, really, really cool. We see the Millennium Falcon right here. Here's the scene that I was talking about with Qui-Gon. Look how fascinating it is. By zooming the camera in to the action, you can really just feel like you're in a much more dynamic video game instead of something that feels like you're really far away from it. It feels like you're in the fight. And I think that was a great decision for them to make. We have a nice shot right there of the battle with Boba Fett, which is obviously really cool. Great cannon design right there. Here's the brick that I had mentioned before, so you can see Rey is scaling for one of them. And the reason why I believe these will be our new gold bricks, or the equivalent of the gold bricks, is because you can see another one right there in the background floating as well, making you assume that these are probably going to be the gold bricks that we're going to be collecting. I don't know what they're going to be called, the legend bricks, the ghost bricks, whatever they have come up with as a name for them. But this is definitely the first time we see those appearing. Looking very neat. That was Takodana. We have an underwater fight scene from the first movie. Really cool. Like, look at that. You can see the groove, the etching on the actual mask being broken. It's incredible. Just really, really lovely. Like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but the attention to detail is mind-boggling. You have sand particles right here as the TIE fighter is charging ahead. Look at the reflective light on her face. Again, just really, really great. And of course, recreating some really epic dynamic moments from Star Wars, while also giving us moments like this, which is much more Lego than Star Wars, with some lovely laughs.
I am.
He's not ready.
Ben, I can be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm.
You're not ready, bro. You're not ready. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Again, the only negative, quote unquote, that I have for this game and this particular trailer is that right there, and that is the release date. I wish it was this year. I made a prediction that it would be November, and then I said if it's not November, it'll probably be March. I'm still going to stick by that. I think March is most likely when this game launches. I hope that's when the game launches. But I could actually see them maybe pushing the game towards May so that then they could tie it into Star Wars Day and do like May the 4th be with you. And you get to go on ahead and pick up Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Speaking of which, are you going to be picking up Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget, guys, you can always support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing. In addition to that, if you can and would like to support the channel beyond that, you can become a member. Members do gain a ton of different perks, so go check that out as well. And guys, for those of you that have been picking up this new fire Blitzwinger merch, thank you so very much for your support. It is indeed very, very much appreciated. I will hopefully see you guys here on the next one. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Yes! Let's be excited, guys. We can still be absolutely stoked about this reveal. Peace out.